on, fellas? Happy Thirsty Thursday. It's not as good as Taco Tuesday. Bajorn, Automatic Judge, Polygon Rocker. What's up, bro? Leroy. Let's talk about the presidential debates. Let's not talk politics in the chat, Leroy. We know the rules here. Okay, we're very specific with no politics, but I think you know that, right? Listen, if it was up to me, I wouldn't mind talking about it. People just get super pissed off when you talk about politics and they disagree. You know how it is in 2023. Verhoofdy! He's out there being strong. Dan said, this song makes my morning dumps so much more epic. Exactly, man. Dan, make sure you pinch it off, man. Don't be late to work. You know what I'm saying? But we probably shouldn't talk about this. Whatever. You know when you pinch off the shit, right? It takes a little bit longer in there, if you know what I mean. Sometimes you don't want to pinch it off. Anyways, what's going on, guys? Good morning. I could use coffee number 2 right now, but we're 1 coffee deep. Today, I might need 2, though. Lately, I've only been having 1 Dunkin' large coffee. That's all I've needed. Today, seems like I need number 2. And not number 2, if you know what I mean. Leroy said, I apologize. Leroy, it's all good, buddy. It's all good, buddy. It's all good, man. It's all good. You know I don't give a shit. Wes! What's up, bro? What's up, bro? Make sure you pinch it off. Dan, Dan's at work? Oh, my God, Dan. Here's the thing, man. Your boss ain't going to care if you're taking a shit, okay? But here's the thing. You got to make sure that you hurry up because there's nothing worse than the guy who says, can I go to the bathroom, right? And he's in there for 30 minutes. Like, there's nothing worse. Nothing worse, especially if it's a 1-stall bathroom. Bro. Those people are the worst, man.
Bruh.
They clearly know someone's waiting in the bathroom. And and eventually you have to be like, come on, bro, someone's waiting. At that point, you feel like you're gonna shit your pants. What's up, Ryan? What's going on, buddy? Brandon said, God made Satoshi. Satoshi made Bitcoin. Wow, man, you're going all in on that shit. Drew said, yeah, bro, everyone right all the time about their biased opinions. Yes, man, yes. We're always all right, right? Mike said, aren't bulls versus bears crypto politics? It kind of is. Kind of is when you think about it. That's why people get pissed if they disagree. You know what I mean? Anyways, today I want to talk about... okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the Bitcoin cycles, where we are, right? And once again, just to have a logical mind of where we are. Because right now, it's easy to get into the trap. When Bitcoin's going up, it's like, we're going to hit all-time highs this year. And then when Bitcoin's going down, it's like, 10K's back on. You probably ain't going to see either. Stop looking for the extremes. Just look for the median, okay? We ain't going to see new all-time highs this year. We ain't going to see 10K. Just chill out. It's not that serious, okay? If price goes down, it's 10K. If price goes up, it's all-time highs. Come on, guys. Let's chill up. And it's not all of you. I've been seeing a lot on Twitter, man. It's like, it makes me exhausted even to look at the market because price moves 2%. And it's like, dude, okay, we're going all-time highs now. Down, okay, 10K's back on the menu, fellas. It's over, you know?
Bitcoin's going to 10K.
Never change, bro. Never change. That's the emotions of the market today. But I want to talk about this today. Short term, where we could expect Bitcoin to move. Obviously, Nvidia had earnings yesterday. You saw a little bit of a bounce with Bitcoin with the Nvidia nailed earnings. So as far as the whole AI space and things like that, Nvidia basically saved that because Nvidia, they beat earnings by 160% or some crazy shit like that. So that was one of the things that the market was fearful on, was the Nvidia earnings. Because if they shat the bed, all the tech stocks would have shat the bed, and probably Bitcoin would have shat the bed. But they actually killed it. You honestly couldn't have had a better earnings. So that's one of the 3 things that the market was afraid of that's now gone. Okay, and if anything, it's not just gone, it actually was a positive. So you saw stocks get a little bit of a bounce. You got the NASDAQ retracing back up, S&P retracing back up, which is good, right? We obviously want to see those go back up. Now tomorrow, right, we're just going to talk about what's going on before we talk about the charts. Tomorrow's Jackson Hole, okay? And if you guys remember Jackson Hole last year, that's when the market really started to tank. Well, not really started to tank, but really started to get this really huge negative sentiment when Powell started to speak. So that's the next thing that people are afraid of is tomorrow when Powell's going to be speaking at Jackson's Hole. It sounds so wrong, man. Like, why Why are we calling it Jackson's? I understand the place is Jackson Hole, but like Jackson's Hole? Ain't no one want to be talking near Jackson's Hole. Okay? Not me at least. Shit. Maj, you want to be talking dirt Jackson's Hole? No, she doesn't even know what that is. Let's see. Rudy said, good morning, Jordan. Look at the sexy morning face you put on. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you, man. I try my best with my sexy morning face. You know why it's more sexy? Because I got those squinty eyes, right? Because I'm half tired, which makes you look more sexy if you squint your eyes. No, don't do that, guys. You look like a tool. If you squint your eyes purposely, kind of makes you look like a tool, right? If you're like what kind of look is that? You know? Anyways, tomorrow, that's kind of the second thing everyone's afraid of. So kind of waiting on that. But here's what I'll say. We know that in the short term, right? Bitcoin dropped through the bull market support band on the weekly. Historically, that's been a point where now we have to start like looking at, okay, any type of move up. Is it just a sort of a correction move up before going lower, or was this the low? Was this the max fear, and sort of everyone just afraid of all these things that, you know, Nvidia earnings, Jackson Hole, and then all these things pass, market gets positive again. Okay, we start moving back up. That's the question. Now, we talked about when we dropped through this bull market support band back in 2019, right? We had this big rally. Bitcoin dropped through there. Okay, what was the next move? We actually bottomed on that first week that we dropped through. And then we actually came up and tested the bull market support band, but got resistance on it and got rejected, right? So my thinking is, and this is personally what I believe, is I believe that we're going to see a retest of that. Once again, immediate short term, could you see another spike down? Yeah. But I think ultimately we're going to see a retest of the bull market support band, which is right around like 20... The bottom side is 27.7. You know, the top side is 28.4. Somewhere in that region. I think we get a retest up there. The question is, can we break back through? If we break back through, historically that's been a very bullish time, right? If Bitcoin can break back through the bull market support band on a weekly close. If it gets rejected, that's been a point where Bitcoin has seen lower prices, right? So I think on this retrace, I believe we're going to get a retrace here. Because markets don't go down in a straight line. If it does, it's just not great, right? But on a retrace, we got to see if this is just a retrace or do we break through? That's the big question in the short term, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking at for Bitcoin right now. Like I said, the oversold levels, you know, I always think that's sort of a meme in the oversold level. But the 2-day was oversold. Typically, when you see the 2-day oversold, you get some type of retrace. Doesn't mean the bottom is in. It just means that you see a retrace back to the upside. So that's why I'm looking for a retrace. Once again, immediate short term, you could see another spike lower. But the high time frames, I think we get a little bit of a move up. Let's see. Papa Bath is displeased. Yeah? What's wrong with Bath? Bath is never awake at this time. Where is he, man? Frank Fractal! What's up, dude? It's soccer day today? Nice, dude. Enjoy the soccer, man. Soccer's not my favorite sport, but I know a lot of people like soccer. For me, it's football and basketball, man. You know? Judge Bibles, what's up, buddy? Boot doesn't like soccer either. Man, what's your guys' favorite sport in the chat? Let me know. For me, it's I have to say basketball. Basketball is my favorite sport. It's always been my favorite sport. Football is very close, though. There's been times where I like football better. Kind of depends on my mood. I guess when football season comes back, I'll like football better than basketball. But right now, I think it's because football hasn't been on in a while. Like regular season, I don't really care about preseason. Preseason's meaningless. But, you know, regular season, I think that's when I start looking football better. Rudy said, my favorite sport is chess. Yeah? Your favorite sport is chess. Drew said, soccer is the real man's football. I mean, I'll slightly disagree. In soccer, you can't even touch each other. If you touch, you get a foul. In my opinion, a real man's sport is where you can sort of touch each other and show dominance and strength. You know what I'm saying? Soccer, okay, you're weaving. It's more of a finesse sport, right? You ain't really showing dominance. That's my opinion. It is what it is. If you even flick, right? Slightly flick. Or kick. It's more of a kick. If you kick someone, it's a foul, man. It's over. There ain't no posting up. There ain't no post play. There ain't no in the trenches. You know what I mean? That's just me, though. Crypto Shock, you have to buy SafeMoon on margin, then 96 Toyota. Yeah. If you leverage up on SafeMoon, then you will get the 96 Toyota. All right, anyways. So that's short term. I think we get a retrace. I think right now, right, let's just look at where Bitcoin is. Right, so what I did on this chart is I just, so this green line right here is the Bitcoin halving, the projected halving date. It can change by a few days, but that's coming in, you know, right here around, it's coming in right here around, like, if it's where it was in the next cycle, it should be around like 32K. We sort of said that Bitcoin at the next halving should be, whether we go up or down or up, should be somewhere around 31, 32K at the next halving date, which is April of next year, right? We're about 7 months from there, not too far. But we look at where we're at now compared to the previous cycles, right? So basically I put where the two previous cycles were at the time of the halving. This is where we're at, right? Exactly where we should be. We're actually right in between the 2019 cycle and the 2016 cycle. Or I guess I could say 2017 cycle. I don't know what way you want to label it, but cycle 1, cycle 2, we're right where we should be. I think it's easy to get caught up in the big moves, like, okay, get people calling for 12K, all-time highs. You probably, like I said, you probably see something in between, aka, you know, more of just this right, before the halving event, because that's historically what you see. You know, more of this, you know, you see big capitulations, but it's more of an upward sloping movement rather than a downward sloping movement, right? Sideways, slightly up, but we've sort of said, like, 7 months from now, I expect Bitcoin to be right around 31K, right? Whatever happens in between, it doesn't really matter. I think we end up at that spot anyways. Whether we pump up to the retracement levels and come back down, like we did it over here. Oh, here we go. Here we go, man. You know it's the morning when you hear that. Or we get a dump back down and we come back up, right? Up into 31K. Whatever happens, I think it's meaningless, man. And I've always said this. Most of you guys don't really care where Bitcoin goes in the short term. Or you shouldn't care because you ain't selling at any of these prices anyways. I've always said that. So that's kind of my thinking is like, this is where we are. It's this meaningless chop phase where if we do see capitulations, it's for buying because you don't typically get, you know, these capitulations at this point in the cycle. The only one you had at this point was the COVID crash. And obviously we know that was 1 week of down and then like an instant retracement. So you know, we were down there for like 2 weeks before coming back up to where you were. Any type of like capitulations lower than we are now is for buying. And that's the way I'm looking at it, right? I know you're going to get all the people thinking Bitcoin's going to come all the way down here. Historically, that's not what Bitcoin's done, right? So we can say this time's different. We can just be calling for 12K just because we want to. But like historical precedence, there's no reason that Bitcoin should go all the way back down here. You know what I mean? I think that's sort of hopium for the bears that missed out on the first low that just want a second chance to buy lower. That's my personal opinion. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but based off the past, that ain't what you should be seeing, man. I would just be prepared, right? Since we broke below the bull market support bands, if we stay below that, I would just be prepared for like more of chop and you know, price action that gets everyone pumped during up days, doom during down days, but more of just boring action that's meaningless in the grand scheme of things, which is one of my favorite sayings, by the way. So that's where I think we are, right? I mean, there's nothing crazy. There's nothing exciting about this. You know what I mean? And that's why maybe I don't sound so excited because, like we've said, we weren't going to see all-time highs this year. We always knew this. So there really ain't anything to be like overly excited about, stuff like that. It's the accumulation year. It's the year where it's boring and you really could probably just not look at charts. Really, to be honest, you could probably just not look at charts and buy like when everyone's like super, super fearful, or buy when the fear and greed's at extreme fear. It's like that type of year. You know what I'm saying? The other thing I want to talk about is, I guess, there's another thing. There's another thing I want to take a look at. So we talked about the possible capitulation. Okay, well, we got one of the fear things gone, the Nvidia thing's gone. We got Jackson Hole tomorrow, right? So there's always a chance that people get spooked tomorrow based on what Powell says, even though he says the same damn thing every single freaking time.
Rant alert.
Can we get a hallelujah? Can we get a hallelujah? He says the same damn thing every time, guys. So, you know, the other thing I'm looking at is back in this first cycle, and this is one of the things that's interesting. Right here, back in this first cycle, you could see where we were below the bull market support band. We got back above. We closed below. And then there was 1 week of just a giant move down. You see that? Boom, giant move down. And then we came back up and got through the bull market support band. I think the most important thing for me right now is like waiting and seeing if Bitcoin can get back through that bull market support band. You see, we capitulated. It was 1 week. You see this shit? Right here. It was 1 freaking week. Boom. 1 week back up. This was like the buying period of a lifetime right here. That 1 week massive capitulation, move back up. The last cycle, we saw the same thing, right? Look, we broke through the bull market support band. What was it? One giant COVID wick to the downside. Buying opportunity of a lifetime. Boom. Right? Into a massive run. The one scenario which I think is a possibility, right? And this is why I think even if you're bullish, you shouldn't be all in. You should have some cash on the sidelines because there's always a chance you get one of these massive moves down that only lasts like 1 or 2 weeks. That's like a huge opportunity, right? You're basically buying other people's fear. We're kind of at that spot right here where we got the close below the bull market support band, right? But we haven't seen that big wick down. We haven't seen that big wick down like we saw in the COVID crash. Boom. Like we saw here. We didn't see that instant dump. Boom. It's interesting, right? So, like I said, there's only been 3 times we've dropped back below the bull market support band after the year-long bear market. Once in 2019. See, we dumped below. We came back up to retest. That's why I think we're going to come back up to retest the bull market support band. Retest that, then we'll see what happens. But the other times were massive buy opportunities. One, and we just looked at in 2015. So, and that's why I've been looking at this trend line right here, where this trend line would be where I would look to really load up if we got some type of big giant candle back down to this level, because we've seen that in the past, and you always got to be open to it. I'm not saying that's the most likely scenario. I just think you have to be open to that scenario, right? But I want to make it sure that we know that that is not for fear. That is for looking at that as a huge opportunity in the market, right? So that's what I want to talk about today. It's don't get caught up in the huge headlines where you got people calling for 10K one, and then you got people calling for all-time highs on any type of move. You ain't going to see either of those, in my opinion, this year. I think that it's ridiculous, in my personal opinion. It's just to get clicks. It's just to get people all riled up. You know, on Twitter, it's to get more engagement. On YouTube, it's to get more engagement. Listen, I told you guys, if you don't want to watch my stream right now, that's fine. I ain't going to tell you anything that's going to blow your socks off. Like, for the bears, I ain't going to give you hopium that Bitcoin's going to go to 10K. For the bulls, I ain't going to give you hopium that Bitcoin's going to all-time highs right now. It's not going to do either, okay? All right? So if someone's telling you one of those, just based because that's how they feel, right? That's not what Bitcoin's done historically, right? So I think just don't get too emotional to one direction. I think the best thing you can do right now is tell yourself, you know, maybe Bitcoin goes to 20K on some type, like I said, some type of massive capitulation event. Maybe Bitcoin gets a bounce and we still see the retracement levels this year, right? We've been looking at 40Ks. I think more than likely Bitcoin stays in between 20K and 40K probably until the halving. And I know that's not exciting. That's not what people want to hear. I just think based off the past, that's what we've looked at this point. I think we stay somewhere in between 20 and 40K for the next 7 months. Right? I just think that's logical, right? It ain't going to be either of the extremes. It's ridiculous, man. But anyways, that's my rant for today. My rant for today is I can make you some clickbait video that's going to give the bears, going to get the bears horny or the bulls horny. I just think it's going to be a limp, I guess, can I say this? A limp penis type of market where you could see another upthrust to the 40Ks. You could see another capitulation down to 20Ks, but more than likely just sideways, right? In between those two levels, right? And just get mentally prepared for that. Get it in your head, all right? I ain't gonna do whatever it is. The year of accumulation. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. It's just right now the market's super tiring, man, because I don't really go on Twitter that much anymore because it's either bear hopium or bull hopium, and in reality, it's just probably not going to be either. You know what I mean? It is what it is, and then the longer the faster you kind of realize that, the faster you just don't really care. You know, it is what it is. Verhoofdy, what's going on, Verhoofdy? Good to see you, buddy. I love when Verhoofdy's in here. Verhoofdy's always in here getting tight, getting pumped, bro. You know. What if Bitcoin goes sideways, still hits that trend line? Yeah, that was the other scenario where, you know, we don't have to dump into that trend line. We talked about that the other day. Bitcoin could do something like this, which is what it did in 2019 before the COVID crash, right? It could do something like this, where it stays here for a few weeks, goes up testable market support band, maybe comes back down, fakes out below these lows, comes back up, and then it just goes sideways until it hits this trend line, which we've talked about. When would, if Bitcoin just went sideways until it hits this trend line, it's going to hit that trend line literally right before the halving, which is funny, you know, how that kind of works out. So, you know, I've always said, I think in some way or however we do it, whether we go sideways or down, I think we hit this trend line one more time, right? I think we hit this trend line one more time. It's either going to be some fear that gets us to here, maybe get a little wick below like the COVID low, right? And then we start bouncing up from there. Option number one, or, right, we've talked about, you know, there's still some bullish narratives that could still get Bitcoin up. I know right now it's doom and gloom because Bitcoin's pulling back. That's how it is. There's still a scenario where Bitcoin maybe gets a bounce, right? We still see higher prices, and then we pull back into the halving, right? Like this. We test, and then we start to come back up like this, right? Or is this a scenario where you just do nothing? I at this point, you know, is that the more likely scenario where you just do nothing and you just kind of chop in here for the next 7 months? Yeah, I think that's very probable too. Either way, I think we hit this trend line though. I doubt that we just do this. I doubt we just do this, right? Where we just go up and we never come back. I doubt it. That would be too easy. That would be way too easy. Griff, what's up, buddy? Richard said, why are you so sweaty? I'm actually not sweaty today. I'm usually sweaty. I am usually very, very sweaty, bro. Today, I ain't sweaty, though. Don't rage at you. What's going on, Manny? You're always coming in with the gifted membership, bro. You're insane, man. You're absolutely nuts. Nuts. I need more doom and gloom. I feel you, man. Listen, I feel you, bro. Like I said, like at this point, it's. Let's wait for the pump song to finish up here. Don't rage at me coming in hot, bro. Finally happy and content with my averages. Let's freaking go. Let's go over Hoofdy. I love it, man. It's always a good feeling. Hey, Zeus said 26K for 7 months. Oof. If it was another 3 months of this, you might be seeing me here 3 times a week. Oh, man. Macho said, where do you think we are on the Wall Street cheat sheet? The Wall Street cheat sheet. I think we're in disbelief. Now, disbelief doesn't mean that we're just going up from here. I think there's going to be pullbacks like we've seen this whole year. I believe we're more in disbelief. I know some people think we're in the what's it called? I know a lot of people are looking for something like this, right? Move down here, and then we come up like this. The only reason I don't think this happens is just because that's not what we've done historically, right? That's not what we've done historically. So, once again, is it impossible? No. Nothing's impossible in this space. I've seen crazy shit. But I also don't think, that's not what we've done historically. We haven't seen lower lows at this point in the cycle. Could we come down and test like 20K? Yeah, sure. But I still think that would be the disbelief phase. Drew said we're in the pre-bull phase. Thank you, Drew. I couldn't have summed it up better myself, man. Basically, I guess the way you can describe the market is, I think the bottom is in, based off of everything we could possibly look at. If it's not, well, this time's different, right? And, that's always a dangerous saying, but sometimes this time is different. The bottom is in based off previous indicators and whatever indicator you look at, right? But, this year after the halving is always sort of unpredictable. You can get these type of scenarios where you just stay at the lows and then just grind up. Kind of what we've seen so far this year. But this last dump kind of is a little bit different, right? You can get something like this. You just go sideways and then grind up. Or you can get something like this where you go massive move, grind down, right? Oh, we're coming back, and then capitulation, and then just a massive move up. What we've done so far this year is kind of like a hybrid of the two, right? We kind of hit a low, came back up, one more low, then we've kind of grinded up. We're still making higher lows at this point, right? It's just what do we do from this point is the big circumstance. So I think the best thing we can do is, okay, if you want a DCA here, that's fine, man. I'm not going to hate on you for DCAing right here. But I also am going to keep a little bit of cash on the sidelines just in case we do get some type of craziness back down here. Because we've seen it before. We've seen it with the COVID crash, right? But I just want to make sure you guys don't get scared on something like this. You know what I mean? Like, these candles, if you see it, and like I said, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if it does, we want to talk about it before and know that these type of massive capitulations mark lows, and those are life-changing opportunities when you see something like this. Like, this was a life-changing opportunity. Something like this. Boom. This was a life-changing opportunity right here, right? But what happens is most people get super scared on these type of candles, right? And they end up selling out on the bottom of these wicks, right? When in reality, you look at these last capitulations, the market was right back where it was before in like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So we've seen this second capitulation. We've seen this second capitulation. I since we broke below the bull market support band, I would just be somewhat prepared, right, for something like that to happen again. I don't think that's terribly unrealistic. And I think if you're not talking about something like that, you're just kind of being biased a little bit, right? And I've been biased before. I ain't just going to be completely biased all the freaking time, right? I know people want to hear what they want to hear, but also just be prepared for that. So Vegas in 2 weeks. All-time high in 2 weeks, Dan.
Rant alert.
Actually, no, 100K. 100K in 2 weeks.
We're going to 100K tomorrow.
And then we probably just start planning Vegas now. Let's plan the Vegas trip now, bro. Dan said, I'm scared that I won't get to scoop in time. Oh, what's up, Crypto Surfer? He said, good morning. Enjoy your day, brother. Thank you, man. Enjoy your day, bro. Enjoy your day. Whatever happens today, enjoy your day, man. Every day that you're alive is a good day, in reality, right? We like to complain about, how, what's going on in life. I always like to say this, man. Every day is a good day. You got to be positive about every day. There's someone out there that is having a worse time than you. And this goes to my rant about, there's a couple of people like, I'm depressed in the chat, and I'm like, I understand you're depressed, probably because crypto's not doing well. But you gotta understand, there's some people who don't even have the opportunity to invest in crypto. They're out there fighting for their food every damn day. Okay, there's much bigger things to be depressed about in life. All right, and that's, like I said, that's not me trying to be just insensitive, but that's just life. I mean, that's what it is. So it is what it is, man. Like, we got to do this. We got to do this, man. But anyways, every day is a good day, man. Every day is a good day. Remind yourself of that. When you're feeling down, just remember that someone out there is having a worse day than you. And every day that you're able to even look at the chart. Some people think I don't even have a computer. Just understand you're having a good day. All right. Besides that, looks like the Nasdaq's actually pulling back at the open. So we opened about 15 minutes ago. Looks like the Nasdaq's actually pulling back on the initial open. We got the S&P pulling back on the open. Yeah, so basically we got the stock market pulling back on the open. Today was the BRICS, which is basically like the the sort of something that could impact the dollar. So there was the BRICS summit was today. -7. I actually don't even know what that means. So, oh, that was the Richmond Manufacturing Index. What else was today? Hold on, let me just change this to today. Let me see if there's anything. There's a reason why we're getting a little bit of a dumperoo. Unemployment claims. See, people keep telling me like unemployment claims are going to go up. Actually came in lower again. You know what I mean? Like, it's hilarious. Every time it's like, oh my God, the rate hikes are going to set in. It just seems like unemployment claims keep getting lower every week. So 230K. Before it was 240K. So 10K less people are unemployed. Surprising. Core durable goods. That's actually higher than it was. Okay, so you have more people ordering goods. So once again, I mean, the economy is looking okay. Yeah, but tomorrow's Jackson Hole, man. So it's, the macro Fed talk bullshit. That's looks like Powell's speaking at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So that's going to be the big one. We'll be live for that at 10 o'clock. I ain't going to be streaming Powell talking because everyone likes to watch Powell talk. I really don't. So I'll be live for that, but I probably won't have Powell on the screen. Consumer sentiment, yeah, it's just a bunch of Fed speakers talking, bro. I'm so sick of that shit. Oh, I'm so sick of the Fed speakers, man. Let's see. No matter the good news or bad, we just dump. It's an inside job. Yeah, man. If the economy's good, it's bad. If the economy's bad, it's bad. You can't win. You know what I mean? If the economy's good, that means inflation's going to go back up. If the economy's bad, that means people are going to be fearing a recession. There's no way to win, man. There's no way to win, man. Let's see. Trophy husbands of Wharton. He won another membership, man. Congratulations, dude. Judge said, how many people jobs taken by AI? I don't think that many yet. I don't think AI is at the point where, I mean, some like factories can use it, but where the big shift is going to be is when you get like these big chains, when you get like McDonald's be able to use AI, Dunkin' Donuts, right? Like these big chains that have massive employments. When they start using AI, that's when shit will be interesting. I don't even know how the world's going to work. How will the world work when you have AI taking 50% of people's jobs? How will the world work? You know what I mean? And this goes kind of deep. By the way, Bitcoin is pulling back a little bit right now. Looks like we're coming back below the previous highs. So we'll see if we can hold here. And how will the world work, man? That's the thing. It's like, if you got not enough jobs for people, like something, and that's where people are going to be scared. We're not going to talk politics and stuff, but If you got a massive amount of people not working, then you got to have some type of reform in how the country works, and that's where I think it gets. That you start talking about the things that people don't like you know, like a certain amount of money given, right, per week or per month, even when you don't work, which people won't like because the people who work will complain. You know, something's gonna have to happen. It's gonna be interesting, man. It's over. The government will push universal basic income. Exactly, Crypto Shock. That's exactly what it's gonna go into, and I think that's where the CBDC comes in as well. But yeah, I think all this stuff it's kind of funny because they're pushing all this stuff, and that's when also AI is becoming big, and it makes sense, right? I mean, something's gonna have to change. You know, you can't have 20-30% of the country not being able to employed. You know, you're gonna have to give them something, and then that's when you gotta get like it's just gonna be a shit show. Anyways, we can party every day. Exactly, Mike. We can party every day. The world's gonna change though. The world will change. Probably. I mean, we're probably still a little bit from like that happening. Like it's gonna be interesting. I don't even know how it's gonna work. You know, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, Bitcoin still, I mean, it got a little bit of a dip back down to test these highs. So we'll see if it holds. This was kind of like a little mini wake off right here. It's kind of nice, right? Just to kind of look at it, right, on the 1 hour time frame. I love when this stuff kind of plays out, right? You get the first initial capitulation. You come back up. You come back down for a secondary retest. Come back up. What do you get? You get the big dump, deviation. Come back up. Retest one more time. Boom. Back up to the top of the range. Break out of the range. Retest. So we'll see if this holds. If this can hold here, we would be obviously expecting a bigger push up because this is like the retest of the breakout. But we'll see, man. I know Bitcoin's been kind of shady. A lot of times I've seen this pattern many times over the course of the last couple months where it does something like this, where normally in a normal market this would move higher, but it kind of just capitulates and it comes right back into the range. You know what I mean? So we'll see if we can hold the line right here in the short-term time frame. But right now we are chilling like a villain. Universal income. Yeah, but the problem is, how will the universal income work? Like, how are you going to be given... You got to be charging the big corporations more taxes. That's the only way I can see it working, because if the big corporations are making more money because they're saving money by using AI instead of regular employees, you got to have some type of way to get more money into the people whose jobs are being taken by AI. So the only way I could see that working is if those big companies get taxed more, you know, to offset and be able to pay those people. Or else, like, where's that money going to come from? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. That's the only way I can see it working. A non-monetary economy? Oh, Lord. At some point, that's going to happen. At some point, that's going to happen. Oh, Judge, what's up, buddy? You will own nothing and be happy. I think we're already going towards that point. You know what I mean? We're already going towards that point. We're like, I mean, and I look at this stuff sometimes, and I watch like videos and stuff like this, where you guys ever seen the chart of like the average salary versus the average price of a home? You go back 20, 30 years ago, someone working a minimum, I mean, not literally, right? But you go back into, you know, pre-2000s, dude, someone working a minimum wage job could afford a home. You know what I mean? Nowadays, dude, I mean, it depends how you live, but, you know, someone on minimum wage can barely afford rent now. You know what I mean? It's going in that direction. I think something's gonna give there. We obviously know that the economy, the U.S. economy is in a giant bubble. Which, I mean, just look at how much debt we're in. You know it's gonna pop eventually. It's gonna pop. It's not sustainable, man. Clint's quarter tonight at 7. Clint's Corner tonight at 7, bro. Let's go. Crypto Shock said they'll print more. They will print more. They'll always print. They'll always print. That's why a lot of people that are afraid of like a recessionary scenario, guys, the recession actually ends up being like, yeah, it's initially bearish, but that ends up actually being bullish because they end up printing a shitload of money. And then assets go up again, which is why it's a bubble. You're just printing money out of thin air and just holding up the economy. That if they didn't print money, if they just stopped printing money, we'd be fucked. You know what I mean? Which is I guess that's just how it is. You have to go at least $1 million in debt at 8% to buy a house now. Yeah, true. That's why buying a house nowadays doesn't make any sense unless if you're buying it cash, yes, because then obviously you don't have to pay any interest. But if you're taking out a mortgage, you get F'd nowadays. You're basically paying, you think you're paying, say you buy a house for $400,000 or $500,000, right? You think you're paying $400,000 or $500,000, but you don't realize is that 8% interest is compounding. You end up paying like double the house price over the 30-year mortgage. You know what I mean? You just get F'd. You just get absolutely F'd. You know? That's like, in my opinion, it doesn't make sense to buy a house unless you're doing it cash. You know? That's my opinion. Some people disagree. But make them pay an AI tax. Yeah, there's got to be an AI tax. Something's got to happen with that, dude. The war over the universal income is coming down the road. Oh, it's coming. I just don't know how they're going to make that work. If that's just going to print money to pay people, but then you're just going to have the inflation problem again. Where, okay, you're printing money to pay people, but then the prices of everything go up. So what's the point of paying them? You know? I don't know, man. You're paying for 2 houses after 30, 40 years. Exactly, man. You don't notice it because you're just, I'm just going to pay my monthly payments. I watched a video on this the other day. If you buy like a $500,000 house at like an 8% interest for a 30-year mortgage, you're going to end up paying like $1 million after 30 years, not your 500. You're just getting effed. You know what I mean? But they nowadays, it's such a bubble. They just prey on the new young people that don't understand that. And they just get screwed, you know? Because they think, oh, my monthly payment's going to be $1,500 per month. Cool. That's pretty good. And I can own my own home and say I own a home. Nice. But in reality, they're getting absolutely financially effed. You know? Only if you pay the minimum payments. Yes, but let's be honest. Most people are going to pay the minimum payment. You know what I mean? Most people aren't very financial savvy and they're going to be paying it off as soon as possible. They're just going to pay the minimum payment. I'm talking about the average person, not someone who has a little bit of financial savviness, you know? Let's see. Let's see. See what you guys are saying in the chat. To make them happy. Yes. Griff said, I'm having a nice poop right now with coffee. Nice, man. I need coffee number 2. I need to wake up a little bit, man. At least we could say to our kids, we witnessed the start of the AI bubble. The AI bubble. I actually don't even think that the AI is the bubble, man. I think the real bubble is what AI will cause, which AI is going to cause more inflation because, like I said, people are going to lose their jobs, they're going to have to print more money, and then it's just going to be, like, that's going to be the bubble. Well, it's almost like AI is going to cause the economy bubble, like the whole bubble to crash. Because I just don't know how it's going to work. Doesn't make sense when you think about it. All right, guys. So Bitcoin's still holding this high, 26.3. Very slow moving. We're back to that kind of slow moving crab market, which is slightly. I mean, you guys remember the days where like there was always something to talk about every day? I don't even remember those days, guys. I don't even remember those days right now. It's pretty crazy. But right now we're still holding those highs. So we're still, as long as we're holding this 26.3, all should be good. I would say if we start dipping back below, that's where it's looking ugly. Because then this is the deviation above the range, and then you'd be looking at the bottom of the range again. and just ping-ponging back and forth. What else can we talk about here? We kind of talk about everything. Binance actually got a nice little bounce the last 2 days, so we got a little bit of cushion in there on the Binance front. As I've been talking about, that's like kind of the one thing that keeps me up at night is the Binance chart. But you got a nice little bounce in there, so we got a little bit of cushion, which is a good thing. Rest of the market really not doing too much. It's crap. It's crap. It's crap, man. Obviously, yesterday we saw some bounces on some stuff. The day before was a little bit of red, just back and forth. Anything that I'm really interested in at the moment, not really. Still looks like a lot of these L1s still look like they want to sort of puke a little bit lower. AVAX, all the fun ones. I'm not going to go through all of them. We've talked about these a million times. Cardano, I still think these are going to go a little bit lower. How are we going to get there? I don't know. But I think these are going to spike these lows and cause like that one more scare, right? The real scare, not the, oh, we're back at support scare. No, the, oh, we're breaking support scare. Because that's a different type of scare, It's easy to buy support, but is it easy to see it break support, right? And then not like shit yourself, Not usually, right? So that's what we got. Yo, Beth, what's going on, buddy? Elliot said these streams have been, yes, no action. Zero action, bro. Zero action, man. What's up, buddy? Hamilton said new all-time highs soon. DCA all the way. I love when Hamilton's bullish, man. Oh, yeah, man, listen. 2023 is the year of stacking, bro. Is the year of freaking stacking. My favorite chart right here, man. Not much, Bath. We're chilling, man. We're chilling, bro. At this point, like I said, I'm still expecting a retrace back up to the bull market support band. That's going to be the test. That's going to be the real test, But just chilling, man. Waiting out this market. waiting it out. That's all you can do right now. Just wait it out. Wait it out. I ranted today, Beth. That, during these times of the big up moves, you're going to have people calling for new all-time highs. And during the down moves, you're going to have people calling for 10K. My rant today was basically, guys, I would just be prepared for, like I said, in between 40K and 20K for, like, basically the non-extreme points, right? Where the bears, they'll be happy if it goes to 20K, but they're looking for lower because they want to buy lower. The bulls, they'll be happy for 40K, but not enough to sell, right? So I would think that we just end up staying in this range for probably until the halving, if I'm going to be honest. And just be prepared for that. Because if you look at historically, look at Bitcoin's price at the last 2 cycles, overlaid where the halving is, which is this green line of all the cycles. This is where the halving was for all the cycles right here. Look, Bitcoin just ends up staying in this range mostly, right? You get little wicks up, little wicks down, but you just stay in this range the whole time. You're not going anywhere. You go up, you go down, right? You had the little bit higher in 2019, the orange one, and then a little bit lower when the COVID crash happened. That was 1 week. Other than that, you just chopped in this range, and that's what I would expect. Oh man, shaky leg. Link said, "Hope you guys bought Link. It's going to be $11 soon." Facts, Link. Link Marine. I will agree with you, bro. Link the Slink. I like Link the Slink, man. But as I always said, I think we sometimes we overthink the altcoin market, right? We overthink it. It's if you like an altcoin, just buy it when people are capitulating it. It's probably going to do well. You know what I mean? There's no need to overthink it. Just don't FOMO. The key during this year of the cycle is don't FOMO into shit. Only buy during when you're like at the literally pico lows, because more than likely you might think you're missing out on a rally, but more than likely it's gonna come test it again, like we've seen multiple times this year, the last year, right? So wait for a level, right? Have a level marked. There's probably like a 90% chance it hits that level. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we get impatient, right? We see one little, like right now, like I'll put ADA for example, right? Actually, it's not a good example because you already kind of hit it. What's a better example? Let's use shit. Let's use Chainlink, right? We'll use Chainlink here. Chainlink. I mean, you probably did this before the capitulation, but for the capitulation, you could have marked out like between $5 and $5.50, right? On this move down, what'll happen is you'll get a little bit of a move down, then you'll get a little bit of a spike up. You'll get impatient. You'll go, oh shit, I don't want to miss out on the rally, so I'm gonna FOMO in on this green candle because I'm gonna miss out. But if you were confident in it coming back and pulling back to here, you wouldn't have done that. You would have just waited, have patience, waiting for a level. If it does pump without you, that's fine, man. Just go through the charts and find another altcoin. All right? I mean, you ain't gonna miss out on anything. But yeah, I would agree. Like Chainlink down here between $5 and $5.50. That's where I'm looking to accumulate some. I already got a big Chainlink back, but if it comes back down here again, I'll be adding to that. For sure. Tony said ARB or OP. I like OP better, but I mean, it's personal preference, man. I mean, I think they both do well. Layer 2's on ETH, and they're new. They'll both do well, I think. Mike said I struggle with patience. Me too, man. I do too. I just want to, because you know what it is this year. I know, like, going into this year, my plan was, and we said this at the beginning of the year. We said we're just looking to accumulate as much crypto as possible. That was the plan. So sometimes I lose my patience because I just want to buy some. I just want to buy some instead of just being confident it's going to go back to support and just waiting. Sometimes that's hard to do because you feel like you're going to miss out on the rally. You always feel like you're going to miss out. Always, man. Oh, Lord. OP seems to get a little bit more love than ARB. Yeah, you know why that is. Why does OP get more love than ARB? Because it has more green candles. If ARB had a 20% move tomorrow, everyone would love ARB. You know what I mean? Like that's how the market works. Whatever's pumping at the time, people like more. British said coffee or milk tea? Coffee, bro. I'm a coffee. What do you guys like better, tea or coffee? I like both. But I definitely, there's something about coffee that, it's not just the taste. It's the smell. It's the, it's everything. It's the smell. It's the, it puts you in a good place. It's the whole vibe around the coffee. It's not just the smell. It's not just the smell, man. All right, we're kind of going through the chat here, guys. We'll hang out a little bit longer. Mango matcha milk tea. Mango matcha milk tea. Ah, man, you got to go coffee, man. Yeah, see everyone, tea when I'm sick. Yeah, tea's good when you're sick. Coffee's actually bad for you when you're sick. You shouldn't be drinking caffeine when you're sick. Oh, you shouldn't be drinking. You shouldn't be drinking high amounts of caffeine. The best thing you can do is have like the decaf tea. That's where it hits. Like some really hot decaf tea. I feel I'm melting here. So hot I cannot do shit. Turning lazy as F. It's actually cool here today. Yesterday was cool too. It's nice. It's nice to have a little break from the 85 degrees. Darth, don't be saying that in the chat, man. Don't you be saying that in the chat. Like, please do not compare me, okay? We're very different, okay? Please don't be doing that, bro. Ajax or Fetch? Take your pick. Roll a dice, man. Roll a dice. Who knows? Who knows, dude? I actually like Render. I'm actually a bigger fan of Render than those two. Render I still think has got a little bit lower to go, though. But I actually like Render as the Nvidia sort of AI play. It got a little bit of a bounce on the AI news with Nvidia or with the Nvidia earnings, but not too much. Not too much. It's one of the only ones that's up today. But yeah, you could just see the weakness, man. I mean, like even when Nvidia had a nice earnings, you would think like these type of things would go up, but they just didn't get any type of bid. Obviously, we knew back in January these things went to the moon when when Nvidia, obviously started to really take off. This time, you just didn't. I mean, very lackluster move, which means that there's still some weakness in the market, right? Which is cool. I mean, it's not terrible. I'd like to get some render down here. Volleygon said, I checked render yesterday, gonna ape in. He's gonna ape in. Let's see. I think coffee makes you more stressed and agitated easier. I'm the opposite. I get so angry and agitated when I don't have my coffee. You know what I think it is? I think it's you get the caffeine addiction. So what ends up happening is when you don't drink your coffee and you're addicted to it, dude, you start going nuts. That's what happens to me. I start going nuts if I don't have my coffee. Maj, am I a nice person when I don't have my coffee? See? Dude, I get so mad. I can't control it. It just happens. Like, I turn into this monster, into this beast, right? I turn into like Sam Bankman-Fried when I don't have my coffee, okay? My hair starts getting disheveled, I don't even know what's going on, I start looking at customer funds. No, I'm just kidding. But like, dude, when I don't drink coffee, I go nuts, man. Oh Lord, the days you forget to get your coffee are like horrible, dude. They're unbearable. You just feel like I get start getting itchy. I get super anxious. Brain receptors are going crazy. Yeah. Mass said looking tired. Yeah, I'm a little bit tired this morning, man. Like I said, I could have used a second coffee today. Too soon, said Rico. Yeah, too soon. Where's Horse Guy? He's on vacation right now, Mike. He'll be back. He's on vacation right now. We didn't lose, or he didn't die. He's just on vacation right now. That's a sign to stop coffee. It's highly addictive. It is addictive. It is, man. I don't know, like if you don't drink coffee, you just feel like the morning's just not the same. But I guess you could say that about any drug. If someone's addicted to a drug and they don't do it, it just doesn't feel the same, right? So I mean, caffeine technically is a drug, right? So if you don't have your caffeine, I mean, dude, like, you're not going to feel the same, right? All right. What do we got going on? All right, so you actually having the NASDAQ got sent to the downside. What we're kind of hoping for is this is just sort of like people were probably aping in last night on the Nvidia earnings. But we're probably hoping for is this is just a short flush, a long flush. Get out those like late longs that decided to ape in. But we'll see. Tomorrow's the big day, man. I mean, two things tomorrow. Two things going into tomorrow, fellas. Jackson Hole, Powell's speech. Market's very scared of this because of last year. And the second thing is, once again, what did we talk about? Tuesdays and Fridays are the possible grayscale SEC case settlements. So every Tuesday and Friday, we're looking out for that from now on. So obviously tomorrow's Friday. So we have two possible things that can impact markets tomorrow. Today, there's not really much going on. Not much going on today. But every Tuesday and Friday, we're looking out for that grayscale SEC case to be settled. Basically, if you don't know what that is, it's basically Grayscale sued the SEC because they're not accepting their spot Bitcoin ETF when they accept a futures ETF, which I also agree makes no sense. It is what it is. I think it's just them being biased. I don't see how Grayscale loses that case because it really doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So we're kind of just waiting on that. And that could be something that sparks a little bit of positive momentum if Grayscale can win that case. Because if they win that case, then you're most likely going to see BlackRock, Valkyrie, all these spot ETFs get approved, right? So that would be positive news. Like I said, every Tuesday and Friday we're looking for that. Doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow, but it was supposed to. I mean, on average, these cases take, I think it was up. They usually get settled on average. The time was last week, so we're actually past the average time that these cases usually take to get settled. So that's why we're looking out for that. But in the meantime, fellas, we'll see what Bitcoin does in the short term. Like I said, short term stuff. If we do break down back into the range, it looks like Bitcoin at least might wick down into here to see if it holds. If it does get some type of close into here, I think we're looking at probably another retest of the lows here. So look out for that. But either way, I am looking for a retracement. Back up to like 27.7, 28K to test the bull market support band, and then we'll see. That's going to be the real test to see where the market wants to lie. If we get a weekly close back above that, boom, I think we're looking pretty bullish again. But until then, we wait. We wait, and we enjoy probably the crab market in between 20 and 40K for the rest of 2023. All right. Anyways, I'm out of here. Peace out, guys. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Don't do anything I do. Don't pay us crypto. Most of all, don't pay us crypto. Most of all, don't pay us crypto. Right? Later, fellas. For Hoofty, I'll see you later, bro. Mirth, I'll see you later, man. Pelagic, Chris, Matt, Felipe, Mike. Yeah, he didn't die, Mike. Polygon, BRMC. Oh, we got another Chris in here. Chris Stafford, Big Don. Later, guys. Crypto Shock. Later, bro. Bass said Jackson's Hole. Yeah, man. Jackson's Hole. It's the only time I actually want to be talking about a damn Jackson's Hole. Other than that, I got no interest in knowing anything about Jackson's Hole. Okay? You know, no interest. No interest.
Bruh.
Who's going to know about Jackson's Hole? Sam Bankman-Fried. All right. Later, bros. See you later. Peace.